So there was just an attempt on Donald Trump's life in Butler, Pennsylvania. A gunman was allowed to get within 130 meters of the president. He took apparently about 5 shots, and the Secret Service killed him, but not before he was able to kill an audience member and wound Donald Trump. Um, this is a gunshot that has immediately, in my opinion, changed American politics. So let's watch the video. You can see the gunshot wound on his ear. So just to the an inch in a different direction, and this would be a very different story. Uh, I don't see a lot of media coverage on this. There are a bunch of videos posting the footage of the event, but as far as media coverage, um, strangely, they seem to be scrambling. And if I had to guess, and if there was knowledge that this was going to happen, because we're going to watch a video that shows that the audience members were trying to get the attention of the Secret Service because they saw this guy bear crawl up on to the top of the building, and the Secret Service was very slow to respond, and that's why he was actually shot in this case. So, Elon Musk came out and said he fully endorses President Trump and hopes for his rapid recovery. I think a lot of people are going to shift their attitudes about what's actually going on in America. With that said, if you go on Twitter Spaces and listen to some people on the left, there's a lot of denial saying that this is a psyop, and then there's also people that wish that the gunman had been able to finish the job. So that's very progressive. Good job, guys. Wishing for the death of someone because they don't share your political views. You think that you're the righteous political party and violence is justified. Yeah, that's really progressive. You really understand progressive politics really well. Congratulations. And then on the right, I mean, you've got anger in response to this, people talking about the fact that people need to wake up, and the people that are denying that this happened need to wake up and realize that this is the reality of our country right now, and we need to stop blindly supporting these psychopaths that are in power. I'm not just talking about the president. There's a lot more people involved in running this country than just the president. All of them need to go, just like a company with a toxic culture. We just need to fire them all. Need to vote against all incumbents. Congress has got a 10% approval rating and a 90% reelection rating. Let's get those numbers more in line so they have a 10% reelection rating and a 10% approval rating so we can get some real change occurring in the White House. And I think anybody who thought that he was just all talk, you know, I think this photograph right here is going to be very inspirational for the people that support a return to nationalism, caring about America, having a closed border, being able to organize America in a way that we can work toward progress again instead of just fighting with each other about gender and race and all this stuff, when the truth is you've got people with money who are in positions of power that are funding elections and lobbying and basically exerting asymmetrical control over the government when the government is supposed to represent us. We find that the government is instead representing the interests of profits and pure corporate capitalism. I don't even know if you can call our system capitalism because that requires an open market. I would say this is more capitalism, corporatism or techno-feudalism, where in the future, if we keep on this path, the only people that are going to own houses or stocks, assets, companies will eventually just be this wealthy elite class. So you'll have the landowning class, the class that owns investments, and the poor, who are adjacent to being in a slave state. Because yeah, you're getting paid, but if you're only getting paid enough to just barely exist, um, you're not working toward progress, you're not making your life better, your work is meaningless, you just toil for food and you go to sleep and you do it the next day, and your life is never going to improve. I don't think any human being would say that that's a hopeful state to live in. Um, Again, they may have been, if they knew about this, they may have planned to put out news explaining the fact that he was killed, and that didn't work out the way that they were hoping.
And watch and listen to
I
the
don't know.
rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, but we noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
So, I'm not seeing this on any media sources. This is BBC. As usual, foreign correspondents are covering American news better than we are ourselves. I think that's just a willful, purposeful, they don't want to tell this story because when you try to martyr someone and you get this close to it working, you basically have created a living martyr. And I think that this is going to generate a huge amount of support. They need to obviously keep him alive, but if, the other thing that I was going to get into before we go down more of Elon's feed there, this is just from one source, so who knows? I don't know America First Legal, but there's a claim and an investigation supposedly that the former and future president's detail has been asking for beefed up protection and resources for weeks, but has been rebuffed time and time again by the Biden administration. Freedom of Information Act here. So let's see. They have submitted documents for discovery relating to communications between President Trump's administration and the Secret Service, asking for increased protection. Again, I'm not going to say that this is completely valid, but this is, this has been submitted to Homeland Security requesting for freedom of information regarding this. To that end, we file Freedom of Information Act requests on issues pressing public concern, then disseminate the information we obtain, making documents broadly available to the public. They're looking for all communications between Secret Service and any email address ending in @hq.dhs.gov relating to the protective detail of former President Donald J. Trump, all records in custody of Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, senior official performing duties of Deputy Secretary, records and all documents and communications from the Office of Intelligence and Analysis from the DHS Front Office or United States Secret Service relating to threats against President Trump. So, this may have been somewhat allowed. You know, the Secret Service is supposed to sweep the perimeter and post security in any positions where they could foresee a threat coming from, and the fact that they didn't see a potential shooting position on this low building that was easily climbed and no one was posted near it or on top of it is crazy. And this is a video showing exactly what I'm talking about.
Aqui, ó. We can see the guy there.
And that's how close this location is to the crowd.
I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead. Tá vendo? Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó.
I can't imagine being there. And then this is a post Elon posted, reposted. Always thought Trump was a vapid showman. Impressive to see the dog in him. Changes everything. I mean, I think this does change everything. The fact that this could have been an assassination of one of the two people who are in contention for the office of president in the United States. Killing one of them would cause chaos in the Republican Party and probably make a Biden win very likely. So, you know, our political system is not functioning and healthy. I think our culture and society is not functioning in a healthy way. We're fighting with each other when we should be working together to try to wrangle in some of these agencies and some of these political people who are abusing their power in broad daylight while people willfully look away. Legalize noticing. Another repost by Elon. Tucker Carlson was speaking out. So is Alex Jones. InfoWars is covering this right now. This is a post by Donald Trump after, probably on Truth Social. I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all law enforcement for the rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed and also the family of another person that was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong in that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. God bless America. There seems to be a lot of people that are not interested in this American experiment continuing. They seem to be just trying to bleed the corpse of America dry, and I assume they want some sort of a reset, a start over where they don't have to be beholden to documents like the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence that are supposed to guide our republic, the legal documents that guide our republic. It's not a democracy. He's criticizing Secret Service leadership. Apparently she was, well, it's right here. Apparently she was, prior to her appointment, Ms. Cheadle served as Senior Director in Global Security at PepsiCo, where she was responsible for directing and implementing security protocols at the company's facility in North America. So, as this person says, or as Elon says, this is the director of the Secret Service, and Elon says, so before being put in charge of protecting the president, she was guarding bags of Cheetos. Bill Ackman has come out and endorsed Donald Trump. I expect that you're going to see a lot of people endorse him because you've basically martyred someone, or an inch away from it, about as close as you can get to killing someone in the public view. They don't like what he's saying. They don't like what we're saying. They don't like what I'm saying. No one's probably going to see this video anyway, so That's okay. I don't care. I'm still going to put it out. It's important that we all talk about this. Important that we stop being polite, looking the other way, letting people do whatever they want without any consequences, because this is what we're going to get. Um, the meek will inherit the earth, but you can decide what you want to inherit. After all the vicious people kill each other, the meek inherit the remains. And if you don't want to inherit the remains of a collapsed empire, it's better to become involved and not look to inherit this disaster, but rather to become involved and to stop what is seemingly an escalation of violence in politics. It's probably going to spill out into Main Street if we don't start to do something, if we don't start to peacefully push back against these crazy ideas, if we don't start to talk to our neighbors and try to sort this out peacefully. It's clearly going to result in the alternative, which is violence. And if you've never experienced violence, if you've never been punched in the face or shot at someone else or killed an animal, you don't understand what violence is, what it looks like. It's not pleasant for anybody. Even if you win, it's still not pleasant. This was the last repost, just showing the direct line of sight from this building over here to the podium location at this rally. It was an outdoor rally, as we saw. So we got to do something. We have to come together as a people. We have to put America first and stop being so selfish and combative with each other. Community, prosperity, positivity, peace, instead of just fighting and hatred over nothing, over differences in our genders and beliefs and things like this. Like if we continue to fight, we're going to make our life worse in a material way. And if we come together, we can make all of our lives better in a material way. It's just a choice. So I hope everybody take care. I'll see you again soon.